In the following presentation, I have examined the role of bishops and councils in the 4th century. First, I will provide you with the historical background and briefly outline the development of the concept of the bishop and the office of the bishop from its mythological origins to the late 4th century. I will then present the most important facts and developments in this context and describe the activities of the most significant bishop for us, Ambrose. Next, I will move on to the important institution of councils. I will briefly outline their history and development in order to approach the definition of councils. Let's begin. We will start by looking at the relationship between Christianity and the bishops, using the example of the transition from Diocletian to Constantine. At the beginning of the 4th century, between 300 and 302-303, Diocletian, 284-305, decided to revoke the tolerance towards Christians. After assuming office, Diocletian wanted to reorganize the empire. I won't go into the details. The Tetrarchy with the 2 Augusti and 2 Caesars, you remember. He initiated a new religious policy. It was important for him to renew traditional worship. Diocletian and co-emperor Maximian took on the names Iovius and Herculius, and everything should be arranged according to the old laws and the Roman state order. As for the exact reasons for measures against Christians and what those measures were, that remains uncertain for now. Perhaps the Christians did something around 300. Maybe, as Lactantius writes, a divination ritual went wrong because someone crossed themselves at the wrong moment. Mort, Pers. 10:1-3. In any case, a systematic suppression of Christians was decided upon. Cult servants, palace officials, and the entire army were ordered to make sacrifices, and those who refused were beaten or expelled from the army. All of this was probably done to ensure the loyalty of the army. Further measures followed, such as the demolition of a church facing the imperial palace in Nicomedia, the burning of sacred scriptures, the removal of Christians from offices and positions, the revocation of privileges, and the loss of freedom for freedmen in imperial service if they did not renounce Christianity, as well as the loss of legal capacity for all Christians. The Christians were also blamed for a fire in the palace of Nicomedia, but no one was convicted of the crime. As a result, all palace officials were forced to make sacrifices, and those who refused were executed. Edicts were issued for the arrest of clergy and the requirement to make sacrifices. According to Lactantius, this affected the entire Christian community. Mortem Person 15:4. Eusebius reports that in the spring of 304, another edict was issued, requiring the entire city to make sacrifices to the gods' images and offer animal and drink offerings. S. 111 Gottlieb. A difficult situation for the bishop and council system at the beginning of the 4th century can certainly be assumed. The conditions were already poor due to the persecution of Christians at the end of the 3rd century, but there seems to have been a certain intensification in some cases.